Namaste, everyone. My name is Janice Cunningham, and this is my framework for Futurity. And it's meant to be a guide for educating ourselves and others through the lens of Indigenous ways of knowing. As mentioned in our learning task outline, literatures is a term that should be used loosely, so I wanted to consider other modalities such as speakers, interviews, videos, and any other interactions that may arise when learning and unlearning through this lens. In my opinion, authenticity of resources is subjective, and to me, the importance lies in our willingness to take personal inventory and be critical in our self reflection, which in turn will hopefully inspire others to do the same. So, I have two parts to my framework, and the first part is this spiral that you see, which I adapted from Dr. Yvonne Patra Pratt's book, Digital Storytelling in Indigenous in Indigenous Education. Excuse me. So she is a Métis scholar and sessional instructor with the University of Calgary. And this diagram to me reminds us to position ourselves within the scope of our learning. So often, and this is speaking for myself, we want to change the world, right? And we want to make a difference right away. And this can be a tall order. So this reminds me to first begin with ourselves and be critically self-reflective and have a willingness to be an agent in that social change. I also chose the Truth and Reconciliation Commission's suggestion for reconciliation, which is about establishing and maintaining a mutually respectful relationship between Aboriginal and non-Aboriginal peoples in this country. So for this to happen, there has to be awareness of the past, acknowledgement of the harm that has been inflicted, atonement for the causes, and actions to change behavior. So with this framework, I have also included some guiding questions for each one of those aspects of their suggestions. So starting with awareness, moving on to acknowledgement, and then for atonement, I also thought it was important to include reflection, because for those of us who are Indigenous, this can be almost I'm not sure the word to describe it, but apologizing for something, I think if anything, we need to be reflective in our own biases, which I think are ingrained in all of us just because of the colonial structure of our education system. So this is an approach that attempts to kind of decolonize and break down and unlearn those things that have been so heavily influential in our lives. And then with the last portion of action, the last question leads us right back to awareness. So I did feel that this learning process kind of comes full circle in this way. As we learned, learning really isn't linear. It takes multiple different leaps and bounds and comes back full circle a lot of the time. And so I wanted my framework to represent that. So thank you for your time, and thank you for sharing your wonderful presentations as well. I've seen some of them already and they're amazing. So I hope you enjoyed this, and I look forward to learning a little bit more about each of you. Thank you.